All right, how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to You Don't Know Ball. It's only right we do another PFF mock reaction, but we gotta switch it up this time. Gotta switch it up because the PFF versus the public, we had it lean PFF, and honestly, and even in the comments, y'all agreed. A lot of the things just we were just not feeling it. So I want to see if we lean it public with all the same, sliders, everything else, random and less, draft needs more, position value more. Just maybe will we get a better simulated mock? Let's find out. As far as off the board, Caleb Williams, public still keeping it real, no surprise there. And then number 2, again, Drake May, just like it was for the PFF one. And again, not really many surprises here. Definitely could go a lot of different directions. Washington at this point is kind of a wild card, but Drake May still very much on the table. And then Jaden Daniels, number 3 here to the Patriots. Again, so, we've been getting some weirder, choices here for the Patriots at number 3. Not weirder, but just less value. We know they need a QB. I think them going QB, whether it's Jaden Daniels, who it is here, they're definitely much more likely to go QB. So glad to see that on the public one, we're going QB here instead of going receiver or whatever other position that the PFL was going with. And then pick number 4, the Cardinals, finally in a simulated mock, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, very likely what we'll see on draft night. You can't guarantee anything, but very likely you'll see Marvin Harrison Jr. in a Cardinals uniform next year, barring anything crazy trades. Obviously there's still things on the table, but if things stay the way they are right now, Marvin number 4, very, very likely. And then Malik Neighbors to the Chargers at number 5. Again, Chargers also in that situation. Kind of a wild card here. Definitely multiple directions they can go, but definitely getting plenty of value with Malik Neighbors. Nothing to be upset about right there. And then at number 6 to the Giants, J.J. McCarthy. Very, very possibly something we see on draft night. And I'm very happy to see that the public settings in his versus when we did the PFF before, we're getting much better results, much more, I feel like, seemingly accurate results with the public. Kind of funny. But yeah, JJ did the Giants here. Very possible. Been plenty of rumblings. I know the Giants been meeting with him, spending plenty of time with him. I know that they're definitely feeling the possibility of taking him. So Giants fans, definitely something maybe to get accustomed to right here. And then number 7, Rome Odunze. Personally, I feel like you'd rather go O-line here. But again, you're still getting great value in Rome, bolstering that receiving core for Will Levis. Either way, I guess Will Levis is getting help. Again, I prefer O-line, but, still giving something, a big weapon to help out Will Levis, so it's not the end of the world. Number 8 to the Falcons, Dallas Turner. Again, just another one. Very, very possible we see this on draft night. I do believe the first edge that will be taken off the board. We know the Falcons need an edge rusher. So logically, them going Dallas Turner, nothing wrong with that. Again, like I say, the potential, there's always blue chip guys. This is definitely one of those potential blue chip guys out of this year's class. And getting him at number 8, you got to feel good about that if you're a Falcons fan. And then Joe Alt at number 9 was just talking to some of my friends about this, that are Bears fans. It's funny. Hunter included in this, actually. We were just discussing this earlier today. Very funny. If Joe Alt is sitting here at number 9, all I'm going to say is this. If he's sitting there, if you're a Bears fan, and you guys got to take him. And you should be very happy if he's sitting here and you take him. Again, like I say, it's not always the flashy picks that are about winning Super Bowls, about winning playoff games, about winning games in January and February. It's about the picks that bolster your team long term. Joe Alt, prime example of one of those picks. So Talise Fuaga again here to the Jets. I believe this was also a PFF pick, but again, this is one, no problem with this at all. No problem with this at all. Another bodyguard to add to Aaron Rodgers' Secret Service. Again, like I said, the meme, I'm going to have to keep rocking with it for at least a little while here. Jokes aside, gonna have to play him at guard likely, unless you want to sit him for a year or two. Talise's pro ready. We're not doing that. We're bringing him right away. I guess we're playing him at guard, but regardless, we're getting ourselves a mauler, someone Aaron Rodgers is going to love, and someone, if this was the case, Jets fans would love. And then at number 11, the Vikings going Brock Bowers again. I know the QBs are off the board in this simulation. It's a little different, but you just don't need a tight end as much as you need plenty of other positions. I'm not going to harp on it. This is just one that not a fan of. And then at pick 12 for the Broncos, going Jared Verse. Again, the QB value's not there, so I get it in this one. And Jared Verse, like I say, a potential one. Another, just like I said about Dallas Turner, one of these potential blue chip guys. And, get him at pick 12, filling out a need. Even though you still need a QB, it's not going to be filled right now. Again, like I said, normally you'd probably expect to trade down something else, but computer doesn't do that. And as far as the value goes for how the computer's coded, taking Jared Verse right here, nothing wrong with that. Definitely not bad value. And if you're a Broncos fan, you're pretty happy with that one. And so the Raiders here at pick 13, Olu Fashanu. Just not a fan of the landing spot at all. I mean, if you're the Raiders, you already basically have your tackles figured out. Olu's not a guard, really. I mean, I just don't see that transition going very well. And sitting him, I guess, for a year or two is maybe not the worst case scenario ever, but I just am not a fan of the landing spot, to be completely frank. And then the Saints here at pick 14, going J.C. Latham. Again, I'll always say, as a Saints fan, I'll give you my raw take on this. Like, I have no problem with this. Seeing J.C. Latham here at pick 14, would love it. Again, whether we're playing with guard, whether we're playing with tackle, and we desperately need help on the O-line, I really want us to go either O-line or D-line. I'm pretty sure the Saints are thinking the same thing. So, no problem with J.C. Latham right here. Would gladly welcome him down at NOLA. And then pick 15 to the Colts. I know some Colts fans will be happier with this one than the other DBs that they've been taking in the other mocks. You're taking Terrion Arnold, who I believe is my favorite corner in this year's class. Again, like I've said before, Cooper DeJean I view as more of a safety. I like Cooper DeJean more of all the DBs, but I think he's more of a safety as far as the corners go. Throughout the process, we move more down. Terrion's my favorite right here. And I think more than anything, the highest floor corner. You're the Colts who feel very safe about this pick. You're also getting great value. Nothing wrong with that at pick 15. And at pick 16 to the Seahawks, we got Quinyon Mitchell. Pick really just makes no sense to me at all. They definitely don't need another cornerback. They definitely need a safety way more. You definitely needed way more positions other than even just anything related to corner. It's just bad value for the Seahawks, even though I like Quinyon Mitchell. Just that is not the play right there. And at pick 17, Latu to the Jags. Very interesting landing spot. Wouldn't mind it at all, though. Again, you might lose Josh Allen next year, but now, regardless, we have at least one season of Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, now Latu, bolstering this D-line. I'm always trenches first. Nothing wrong with taking Latu after the film he's put out over the last 2 years. Only thing we're worried about, like we always say, health concerns. If he stays healthy on this Jags D-line, it would be ferocious. And then Troy Fautanu here to the Bengals is fantastic value for the Bengals. You know, I haven't really seen this one happen yet, but now that it's happening, it's like this really... Talk about like dream landing spots. Maybe a dream landing spot for Troy Fautanu because, you know, you could play him at guard this year if you like him better than your current options at guard. But then if something happens out of tackle, someone gets injured, someone leaves next year because it's only a couple, one-year deals. Hey, we kick Troy out to tackle again. We can literally play him anywhere on the line. Someone gets injured. Troy, you're going over here. Troy, you're going over there. If you're the Bengals, you love this. If you're Troy Fautanu, you love it. Going into a competitive situation. This probably my favorite pick of the mock so far, to be honest. And then at pick 19 to the Los Angeles Rams, you can't even make it up. Taking Aaron Donald's spot right post-retirement, even though he's not AD. Nobody's going to be AD. But he is an interesting player in a similar mold. Again, I said similar mold. I didn't say there's similar players. I just built similarly. They have certain skill sets that are similar. Again, I'm not hearing any comments that I'm comparing him to AD. I'm not. I'm just saying you're getting a guy that you need to replace AD, to play in that same position, who, if you could even hit a smidgen of that same upside as AD, you're getting fantastic value. And y'all know how I feel about Byron Murphy. Just getting fantastic value right here. Pick 19, I don't think he's going to fall this far. But on this Rams D-line, the way that they play defense, literally fitting seamlessly in, this would be the dream landing spot. We got two dream landing spots back to back. Again, I don't think he's going to fall this far. Byron Murphy to the Rams is a match made in heaven. And then at pick 20 to the Steelers, we got Brian Thomas Jr. Now, again, I just don't think I'm going wide receiver first. I also don't know why in the fuck that PFF, I'm getting really frustrated with this, has QB as the Steelers' biggest need. They did not just sign Russell Wilson and trade for Justin Fields to still have needed quarterback, at least this season. Frustrating. But I'm harping. At least we didn't go QB this time. It would have been the fourth time in a row somehow. The algorithm finally got us right. Brian Thomas Jr. again. I wouldn't go receiver here. I feel like you have way bigger needs, way more pertinent needs at way more important positions. But taking one of my favorite receivers off the board, the LSU blood, I don't mind it at all. Again, definitely not a bad pick. I would go another direction. But Brian Thomas Jr. in the black and gold, definitely not a bad landing spot. And at pick 21 here, we got Amarius Mims. Very interesting because, the Dolphins really need a guard. Like, they really need guards. So, when Amarius Mims, I just don't see their projection to a guard. However, like I always say, somebody with such high upside, but he's a tackle. And we're not even really be able to play him as tackle right now with the Dolphins because we already have two tackles already. But we just let him sit for a year, grow. If Teron retires next year, we play him there. Right? Interesting situation, but certainly not bad value. I just think the Dolphins really do have more pertinent needs elsewhere where this would just maybe too much of a cooker pick where it's just not enough time. Your window is not going to fit within the time frame that this takes for the value to work, if that makes sense. But at the same time, like I said, it's not the worst value in the world, and it's definitely still plausible that you're getting good value here. It's just a little tricky. And then pick 22 to the Eagles. I know at least one Eagle subscriber that watches these will not be too happy with this pick right here. However, again, I do think Nate Wiggins will still go somewhere late first round. It ends up being the Eagles in this one. Smaller frame, but again, that athletic profile, the upside, still very much there. Definitely needs to bulk up that frame. Definitely needs to show us he can stay healthy. But again, I'm not out on Nate Wiggins. And he fell beyond more corners where he normally goes before in this. So, no complaints. Again, I do still, like I said, I think you'll see him go right around this area. And he fell to the Eagles today. So, again, if you're an Eagles fan, you might not be feeling it the most right now. I know if you guys aren't. But the upside is definitely still there with Nate Wiggins. Don't be totally out on him. And then we literally got the exact same mock for the Vikings as we did yesterday. It's just fucking boring and kind of stupid. Whatever. Brock Bowers at 11. Bo Nix at 23. I don't believe at all that'll be what you're seeing on draft night, but I don't know. Maybe PFF knows something I don't. And then pick 24 to the Cowboys. Very interesting. Going Graham Barton. Because again here, desperately need a center. Maybe playing Graham over there at center, it's a possibility. Like I said, one of the very few, actually one of the only two, I believe, old linemen in this year's class, you're comfortable kind of moving across that whole line. And Graham Barton, maybe playing at center, but also maybe he can be one of those smaller tackles like I've said before. I also still view him, right? If you leave a tackle, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think he showed and put it on tape plenty of times at Duke. Like, he can play tackle as well. So, again, I do project him much more to center or guard, but hey, this is what the Cowboys took here, and it definitely is not bad value. Very interesting, because I don't think I've seen this in any of the mocks yet. But Graham Barton to the Cowboys, not bad at all. And then Tyler Guyton at pick 25 to the Packers. Very interesting, because, again, still so raw. If you start him right away, like I've said, I don't think you're going to get the best results. But we're kind of in a situation where now all of a sudden, kind of have to start him right away. Unless, you could still sit him for a year behind Rasheed Walker, however you want to do it. I guess it's possible. At that point, I guess you got to ask yourself how much value you're getting on this year for it being your first round pick. But you're playing the long game. So what the Packers do, I suppose, with that being said, certainly could be a Packers pick and certainly could not be bad value, long term. You might not get that value this year, more of a long term pick, but it is what the Packers do. And then at pick 26, we got Cooper DeJean going to the Buccaneers. I love this for him because this is perfect because even if you want to play him at corner, you still can. They desperately still need another corner. And if you want to play him at safety, you definitely can still play him at strong safety, replace Jordan Whitehead, however you want to go about it. He finds a spot here. He finds a home in Tampa Bay no matter where he's playing. And that's perfect for him because it just kind of depends, scheme dependent, who drafts him, where they're going to play him. But perfect because if you're a land on the Bucs, he could be used anywhere. And then very interesting, I love it. Here at pick 27, we got the Cardinals going Chop Robinson. So now all of a sudden, we got a kind of a unique, interesting edge duo of BJ Ojulari, Chop Robinson, two athletic, lankier, fast dudes. So all of a sudden, QBs watch out. Kind of a very interesting, just like I said, athletic pass rush duo now being built over there in Arizona with Chop Robinson being taken off the board. And then pick 28 to the Buffalo Bills, we got Adonai Mitchell. Would absolutely love this. Like I said, for helping out the run game, giving Josh Allen another huge body with an outrageous catch radius for those Josh Allen moon balls. I mean, Adonai Mitchell to the Bills, definitely one of the best landing spots for him, far and away. And at pick 29, we got Darius Robinson to the Lions. I'm laughing, I'm smiling because I could definitely see the Lions doing this on draft night. Would love the Lions doing this on draft night. If y'all didn't know, Darius Robinson has been one of my dudes throughout this process. I feel like he would fit very, very well into this Lions defense, as I've said before. I've even mocked him here once or twice. So seeing him go at pick 29, definitely something we could see on draft night. Think this is a Dan Campbell guy right here. Very, very possible we see that. Then at pick 30 for the Ravens, we got Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think this is absolutely fantastic value. Again, Kool-Aid maybe just kind of falling on these boards over the last couple months because of the injury and then, the lack of testing we've been able to see from him. But I think you're still getting a first-round prospect for sure. You got him right here at the back end of the first round, almost in the second round. And on top of it, we know the Ravens really, really need another corner. So perfect value, perfect landing spot right here in Baltimore. And then at pick 31, let me just start off by saying, Lord, please don't let this happen. Jer'Zhan Newton, followed at pick 31, is not only egregious, but him falling into this Niners D-line after the success they've already had, how potent they already are. If this happened right here, there's a real good chance we see the Niners right back in the Super Bowl again because, jokes aside, this value right here at pick 31, for a team, too, who were the Niners, we know they already have, they're built out really well, but they could definitely really use another pass rusher on that interior. And then all of a sudden, Hargrave, Newton, Bosa, and then they just added Leonard Floyd. The D-line is just absolutely cooking with gas. He's not going to fall to pick 31. I really do not believe, unless he goes in the interviews and absolutely bombs them and makes every team hate him, which I don't believe he's going to do. I think Josiah Newton's a fine guy. He's going to be able, he's going to go much higher than this. And yeah, pick 31. Man, that is insane. All right, y'all know, moment of truth. We got to wait to see. Could it be Ladd McConkey again? You think it is? No, switched it up this time. And even crazier, even more fun than, Ladd McConkey. Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs. Man, oh man, would that be fun. But also, potentially, puts a lot of pressure on Xavier. If he has some of those drop issues we've seen before, Chiefs fans on his head, all of a sudden, jokes aside, that would be a really fun landing spot for Xavier Worthy. That would be some fireworks for Mahomes. And I think the league really better watch out if this ends up happening. Because Xavier Worthy is one of those guys where he ranges right now where he could go so far. It's very interesting. But it's definitely a possibility right here at pick 32. All right, and that'll end us for today. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you enjoyed, drop a like, drop a sub. We would love to see you back. And you have a great rest of your day.